We're getting you images right now of Prime Minister Modi's meeting with the Emir of Qatar, who's currently on a two-day visit in India. And these are the images from Hyderabad House, where you have the official bilateral and joint meeting that's taking place. You've got, in fact, the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim, currently here, along with his entire delegation. The focus is going to be on what are the takeaways as far as, trade deals are concerned between Qatar and India. Shashank Mattu is joining us with more details on this. Shashank, as we beam these images of the meeting that's currently underway between Prime Minister Modi and the Emir of Qatar, take us through really what's the biggest talking point, what's the expected takeaway?
Well, I think the big issues are going to be on trade, energy and investments. Let's talk about energy. For example, Qatar is India's largest supplier of liquefied natural gas. Qatari companies as well as Indian companies have signed very long-term deals for long-term supply of energy to India. And so that conversation, energy investments, is going to be a key part of the conversations between India as well as Qatar. Is going to also have investments. We know that Trade Minister Piyush Goyal is also going to be meeting with his counterpart in Qatar. And so the idea is going to be about how to boost joint investments between the two countries on things like infrastructure, finance, technology, food security, logistics. That's an important part of the conversation on the economic side. Of course, there's also the unresolved issue of the 8 naval veterans who, of course, were pardoned by Qatar after India's diplomatic intervention, but some of them have not yet been freed. And, of course, India is going to have to take up that issue as well. One Indian naval veteran is in Qatar, and that issue is going to be discussed. Beyond that, there's also defense. India takes part in a number of key defense exercises in Qatar, works very closely with Qatar, which is a prominent player in the politics of West Asia, helping negotiate an end to the conflict between Israel and Hamas, and therefore having some conversations about the broader situation in West Asia and also defense issues. Those are going to be some of the key issues that Prime Minister Modi is going to take up with his counterparts in Qatar.
You know, there's been a lot of talk also, Shashank, about the friendship between the two leaders and that rare gesture that came in last night of Prime Minister Modi personally welcoming his brother, as he calls him, the Emir of Qatar, at the IGI airport last evening in Delhi. And that itself shows you how much India values this friendship with Qatar.
No, absolutely, you're right. And in fact, it was the meeting between these two leaders on the sidelines of a global international event that you might remember paved the way for the pardoning of the 8 naval veterans who had earlier been sentenced to death. It was a timely diplomatic intervention on India's part, and the personal relationship between Prime Minister Modi as well as, of course, the ruler of Qatar that has made something like that possible. So that does not happen unless there is a strong personal relationship between two leaders, which have also again seen Prime Minister Modi acknowledge the importance of that relationship with the ruler of Qatar by going to firstly meet the ruler of Qatar when he landed in India. So absolutely, it's an important relationship, an important personal relationship that has yielded dividends for India in the past, and hopefully will continue to do so.
What's also important here is that this particular visit will focus a whole lot on bilateral trade that expands across multiple sectors, considering the Qatari firms have invested so much in India's tech, India's infrastructure and manufacturing as well. Thanks very much, Shashank, for joining us with the details of what really to expect in about 15 minutes from now. We're expecting images of the exchange of MOUs, which is where we'll get more details of the biggest headlines from the visit of, in fact, the Emir of Qatar.